Good morning, ladies and gentlemen of grade 9. Again, we are going to proceed our work on Unit 2, New Hello, which we're going to start with a video. As I told you last time, we had dealt with lesson 1, 2, and 3 of Unit 2, and today we are dealing with lesson 4, 5, and 6. Plus an exercise after each part that we introduce for today. So let's start immediately by this video that is comparing between the use of past simple and the past continuous. The uses, especially with the time expressions like when, while. So let's watch it and then we'll come back again with the exercise.
Today, we're going to talk about past simple and continuous. First of all, let's have a look at how we use these tenses individually. In the case of the past simple, we use it to talk about single completed actions in the past. For example, I traveled to Buenos Aires last month. This action started and finished in the past. The past continuous, however, is used to talk about an action in progress in the past. For example, I was doing homework. The action in this sentence is not a single one. On the contrary, it is a long action which took place over a period of time. Now, why do we use both tenses together? We do so when we talk about an action which happened while another one was in progress. When this happens, we use the past simple to talk about the shorter action. This is the single event. And we use the past continuous to talk about the longer action. This is the action in progress. Now, we have two words which are generally used together with these two tenses, and they are when and while. We use when before the past simple and while before the past continuous. It is also important to say that there are different ways in which we can combine the past simple and the past continuous. Let's have a look at some examples. You can, for example, combine the past simple and the past continuous. This means that there is one single action which interacts an action in progress in the past. You can use the past simple first and the past continuous second, and the other way around as well. However, bear in mind that you would have to leave the two clauses using when or while. For example, the phone rang while I was having a shower, or I was having a shower when the phone rang. You can also use the past continuous in both parts of the sentence. This means that there are two activities in progress in the past which happen simultaneously. This is at the same time. For example, while I was cooking, my sister was tidying up. Remember that in this case, you will have to join the two clauses using while. You can also use the past simple in both parts of the sentence. This means that there are two single actions which occur at the same time in the past, or one immediately after the other. The difference with the previous pattern is that in this case, the two actions are short. Take a look at this example. I called her when I got home. If you use this pattern, remember that you should use when in order to join the clauses. Another thing which is important to mention is that in this case, you can use why and as with the same meaning. Take a look at these examples. While I was walking home, I found a wallet. This is the same as saying, as I was walking home, I found a wallet. Now, what about the position of when and while in the sentence? If the sentence starts with when or while, we separate the two clauses with a comma. For example, when I saw her, comma, she said hello. While she was having me, comma, my brother arrived. Now, remember that if you start the sentence the other way around, the comma shouldn't be used.
All right, to summarize this, which is very, very clear that you are very much familiar with this rule. You have been studying that ever since you were in grade 5. I will have to tell you something that she didn't mention, or that she haven't mentioned in her video. While as a time expression can be followed by a noun, like when you say, well, while reading the book, mom got into my room. Here, reading is not really a verb. We usually say verb plus an ing, or a gerund form of the verb. But here we can say that while can be followed by the gerund, which is the verb plus the ing form, or the noun of read, which is reading. So I say while reading, while cooking, while walking in the streets, and so on. If you don't have a subject for the sentence, while can be followed by the gerund form or the ing form of the verb. We'll get back to our slides and immediately to the exercise. I need your support here so that we can finish the exercise as quickly as possible. He wants us to complete the following sentences using the correct form of the verb, whether the past simple or the past continuous. Number one, this morning I go to the town center with my mom. We take the bus there, and I buy a really cool new phone. This is the first sentence, but it looks like it's a short story about a little boy's bad luck. After that, I meet some of my friends. I show them my new phone while we walk down the road. As I give my friend the phone to look at, he dropped it. The phone break, my friend feel very bad and I be sad. The day before that, I do some school tasks for the final project, when suddenly the light go off, so I lose some homework. It wasn't my lucky week anyway. So let's start here and find out which verb of these is going to be in the past simple form or in the past continuous one. This morning refers to a past quick action. So I went to the town center with my mom. We took the bus. Take here needs no duration, so it's a past simple tense. And I buy a really cool new phone. Still, you need no duration, and the action is quick, so I bought a really cool new phone. After that, I met some of my friends, because it happened all of a sudden. It wasn't arranged or something like that, so we use the past simple here. I met some of my friends. I showed them my new phone. This is a sequence of events in which you have to use the past simple. While we were walking down the road. Why did I choose the past continuous here? Because of while. As, which is equal or equally used as while. Here we have to say while I was giving my friend. This is an action that needs duration and that it was interrupted by another one. While or as I was giving my friend the phone to look at, he dropped it. And this is the action that interrupted the other, or that happened suddenly. That's why it must be in the past simple. He dropped it. The phone broke. My friend felt very bad and I was sad. Still a sequence of event. The day before that, I do some school tasks for the final project. When. So this verb, which is do, we need to find a duration here because it was interrupted by another one. The sentence that has when here means that this action happened all of a sudden and interrupted the first one. So the first one was definitely ongoing. So I was doing some school tasks for the final project when suddenly the light went off. So I lost some homework. It wasn't my lucky weekend anyway. I hope most of your answers were the same as mine. So let's move here. We have some short readings about the best quality and prices. What are we going to read about? Actually, the Egyptian handicrafts. Let's find out about what types of handicrafts we're talking about. The first one here are the wooden boxes. I'm sure that most of us have these types of boxes at home, especially girls. These beautiful wooden boxes can be used for jewelry. They are decorated with shells in traditional designs. They are made by artists near the coast. At the beginning here, I would like to focus on the word wooden. Wooden is an adjective that is basically taken or deriving from the word wood. And we have more than one word, or like wood, that we can transfer it or transform it from the noun into an adjective by adding en. One of them is, for example, gold. We've got wood, wooden, gold, and golden. We have earth and earthen. We have wax and waxen, and so on. We also have wool and woolen. So some nouns can be transformed into adjective by adding en as a suffix. Decorated, the original verb is decorate, and decorated here is definitely are decorated, is in the passive form. That's why we can consider decorated the past participle form of verb decorate or an adjective of the verb. Traditional. Traditional is an adjective, and the original noun of that is tradition. So we have al as a suffix that can be added to some nouns to form an adjective. That's very much correct. Like profession, for example, professional. Exception, exceptional. So here, music, musical. So right here we use the al suffix in order to transform the noun into an adjective. Now the word coast. Who's going to tell me how can we get the adjective from the word coast? Very much correct. It's coastal. So it's by adding al to the word coast. Excellent. Very good job. Now the leather industry is one of the oldest in Egypt, and our bags are the best quality. The leather is very soft. Again, industry is a noun, and I need someone to guess what could be the adjective of that word, industry, or of that noun, industry. I hear someone is saying industrial, and that's very much correct. Thank you. Let's move to the pottery. Now we sell, excuse me, I have to stand here. We sell many different types of pots in different colors for your home. The artists paint the pots with traditional Arabic designs. Right here we have the word color, and I want someone to remind me with the suffix that we add in order to transform it into an adjective, which is ful, full. So it's colorful when we are forming an adjective. As you can see, the picture is about the Egyptian pottery. Now Egypt has a long history of making beautiful carpets. These colorful modern carpets will look amazing in any home. Now in these texts, short texts that we are reading, we have two words that are antonyms to each other, or opposite each other: traditional and modern. So if I ask it, what could the antonym of the word modern, you say it's traditional, or vice versa. Let's look at the questions based on the text that we have just read, and right here he's asking us about which items from the one that we read are made by artists near the sea. If we went back to the text, I know what the answer is, but I want you to find it yourself. Right here when he said that they are made by artists near the coast is where you can see the sea, or it's near this. It's the same meaning, I mean, but he's using different words. So the answer is the items that are made by artists near the sea are the, yes, that's definitely right. Which Egyptian handicrafts does the advert say are very old? The one thing that they say that are very old. Let's go back. That's right. It's the leather industry. The leather industry is considered to be one of the oldest Egyptian industry in our history. Now moving to which item comes in many colors. Actually, we have two items that come in many colors. One of them is the pottery, and the other is the carpets. So if you said the carpets and the pottery, or the pots and the carpets, this answer is quite correct. Which items use a traditional style? If we went back to the reading, we will find the same answer. Here we've got the word traditional, and here we've got the word traditional. So he wants something that is made traditionally. So we're talking about the pottery and the wooden boxes, okay? Back again to question number 5. How can people know more about the special offers of these items? Definitely by visiting the websites, because what we have just read were only adverts, short adverts in order to sell these goods through the internet. Quickly, the language function part that helps us in answering the dialogue question. Our language function in this unit is mainly based on expression that we use in order to complain about something. If you remember, the word complain is the verb and the noun is complained. So these are the expressions that you can use in order to complain about something that you bought, about something that you received, about something that you got, whatever or wherever you get this thing, you can use these expressions. The first is, I have a complaint to make. And now, sorry to bother you, but that thing. You can complete the sentence by saying, for example, but the kettle that I bought is broken, for example. I'm sorry to say this, but still you introduce your complaint. I'm afraid I have got a complaint about, for example, the laptop that I received from your company last week. Now, I'm afraid there is a slight problem with whatever, maybe the coffee machine that you sent me 2 weeks ago. Excuse me, but there is a problem about, and then you say the product that you're talking about. I want to complain about whatever. Now I'm angry about. As we see that the man's picture refers that he's very angry about the product that he received. Now you have only two choices. This is the customer, and the customer is always right. So the customer is complaining about something. What should you do as an assistant or as a clerk in a company? What would you do? How would you react? You only have two things to do. It's whether to accept the complaint and manage the situation and try to do something about to fix it, or you reject the complaint that you are receiving from the customer. Mainly if a customer says that he has a problem about this thing or that, the first thing that you should ask about is, what's the problem? You have to ask him about the problem that he had of his product or in his product. So you say, sure, what's the problem? When he starts talking or complaining about the one thing that he had in the product, you have to express being sorry in so many ways. You can say, I'm so sorry, but this will never happen again. I'm sorry, we promise never to make the same mistake again. I can't tell you how sorry I am, and I wish it never happened. So this is how you accept someone's complaint, and if you are clever enough, you would do accept the complaint, not reject it. But sometimes the problem with the product comes from the bad usage, or that the customer didn't know how to manage the situation while he firstly used that product. In this case, it's not your fault as a company. So you have to reject his complaint anyway, and you can say that, sorry, there is nothing we can do about it, or sorry but it's not our fault. I'm afraid there isn't much we can do about it. This is how you reject politely, by the way, about someone's complaint about one thing. Now comes the time for the exercise, and we have to complete the following dialogue using the ways that I gave you about the complaint, whether giving the complaint, rejecting, or even accepting. Now here the assistant is receiving a phone call saying hello, space, and then the customer says, I want to make a complaint. The assistant, oh, what's the space? And then the customer, I ordered a laptop 2 weeks ago. Your website says the space takes only 5 days, but space. The assistant is expressing being sorry, of course. The customer is asking a question, and then the assistant is saying, I will call the delivery company. Can you call me back today, please? Now she's trying to manage the situation, so the customer here is saying, sure, I hope you can manage that. And then the assistant expressed more sorries, saying, but we promise never to make the same mistake again. So the first thing that the assistant would say is to offer help. That's the first thing. So she has to say, hello, what can I do for you? Or can I help you? Or how can I help you? Now he says, I want to make a complaint. Oh, what's the problem? That's the first question that you have to ask about. Now I ordered a laptop 2 weeks ago. It looks like the laptop is quite far away from the timing where he had to take it or receive it. I ordered a laptop 2 weeks ago. Your website says the delivery, so it's a problem about the delivery of that thing, takes only 5 days, but I'm still waiting, can work, but I haven't received anything yet, but it's not here yet. All these answers are accepted. Now the assistants would express being sorry by saying, I'm so sorry about that. I can't tell you how sorry I am. Whatever the sentence, you have to express being sorry for this customer. And then the customer is asking something about the situation and how she's gonna do. So he can only ask, what are you going to do about it? She says, I will call the delivery company. Can you call me back today? Call me back today, please. Sure, I hope you can manage that. And then she promised not to make that mistake again. And again, as I promised you in the last session, I told you that I will give you more exercises in this session rather than the first one, because we have more time to deal with exercises of the unit. As a conclusion, we need to finish this exercise about different tenses. And as long as we only studied the present simple, present continuous, I think the past simple and the past continuous, this will be mainly about that. So now we have to use the suitable tense to finish the following sentences. Yesterday, and pay attention to the time frame here. Yesterday I to the market. Definitely the verb is go. We have to use went in the past simple tense, and I bought, because of and we have to follow the same tense, some new things for my bedroom. While shop, I don't have a subject here. If I have one, I say while I was shopping, but right here we don't have I or whatever, or we, because you are referring to you and your mom. So right here you can use only the verb in the ing form or the noun form, or the gerund form of the verb shop. So you say, while shopping, I saw my friend Laura. Why so? Why the present simple? Because it interrupted another action that was ongoing. She helped me, because you're still referring to something, an action, or an action that started and ended in the past. Choose a good carpet. Today, my dad, and the verb is paint. I think it's right here, but anyway, my dad is painting my bedroom. Now it is blue. Why did we use is painting here? Why did we use the present continuous? Because this action is ongoing, is going at the time of speaking. So we only use the present continuous for that. It is blue. It looks really good. We can only use look in the present simple form because it's one of the stative verbs that can only be used in the present simple and can be used in the present continuous, but with a different meaning. So right here, we can move to the next part. And here, I also promised you last time that we're going to read a short review about whatever the devices I'm giving you now. So the device I'm giving you now is a coffee machine. So we are reading one positive and another negative review about it. Where do people usually read reviews? You read reviews about games, about movies, about stuff like that on internet or in an article in the newspaper. So right here we have a gray machine, and don't buy this machine. A great machine that gives us the positive review. Here the person is saying, I bought this as a present for my parents. They are very happy with it. It looks great in the kitchen and it is easy to use. You see, he mentioned so many good things about it. It also makes a really delicious cup of coffee. The delivery was quick too. So if we focused on his sentences, he mentioned something about the delivery, mentioned about how this device works, and he also mentioned about how it looks and how the people he bought the device for, how do they feel and stuff like that. So don't forget to pay attention to the points in which he had to mention the positive or his positivity about the product. Now, don't buy this machine. First, I waited 2 weeks for the delivery. So he means that the delivery was late. And then when the machine arrived, it was broken. So it looks like he had a problem with the delivery. Not only late, but also the person, or the delivery man, was not that cautious. It looked good, but it was very noisy. So the look is good, but still it makes noises, and that's not very nice. And the coffee was cold and horrible. So the device is not working very well as he expected. I sent it back and I will buy a different one. So it looks like he sent the device back to the company where he bought it from, and he's gonna get another one from a different place. This is the least we can do when we get something online, but this rarely happens, as a matter of fact. When you get something online and you find that it's not working, you just keep it. You don't take it anywhere. You have no the power to send it back and take a redeem for the device. Now, your task here, and I am very keen on receiving the tasks if anyone is interested, even in your comment on the video whenever you see it. I want you to write a review about the new microwave you bought 2 days ago. Your review could be positive, it could be negative, or it could be both. I mean, sometimes we get a device, it's good, but something happened, for example, when it was delivered. Still, the machine is good. So you may have some problems, for example, with the price or with the delivery, but the mechanism of the device is good. It saves electricity, for example. It looks good and the color matches the kitchen. That's another thing. So I'm just giving you ideas. So right here, it's okay to write a positive and a negative review at the same time, but pick up the point in which you have to show positivity, and quite the opposite. Pick up the points in which you have to show your negativity about something. Your review could be positive and negative, or both. Make sure you include information about where you saw the advert and which website. If you saw, I saw that in the newspaper, you have to mention which newspaper. If you say that I saw the advert on the internet, you have to tell me which website. And I know that you can name so many websites. I know you're on the line all the time. Now, where is it made? Like it's made in China, it's made in Germany, it's made in Switzerland. If you're talking about a watch, If you're talking about a car, maybe, I'm not sure about the country that is the best maker of cars, but I think it's Germany. Now, the delivery, the price, how it looks and how well it works, and then you have to give me your recommendation. By the end or the last paragraph, you should recommend whether to buy or not to buy that. And then you have to mention the reason, at least 2 reasons for supporting or for opposing that, I mean, like recommending and not recommending that device in particular. Here we come to the end of our session. I'm so sorry that time passes so quickly. Till we meet again, be safe and goodbye.